that's a disconnect within the organization, but it's not uncommon. It's not just in quality, it's in every
It's
element
in
of the organization. When these executives are being pounded by all their different reports, direct reports, not only quality, but production and operations and finance and everything else, and they know enough to know, but really they have to trust the quality person to know what programs and products they need to support their systems. So you want top management support, but you also kind of want them to back off a little bit and let you do your job.
Let me choose the software.
Yeah. So anyway, this is a really interesting survey that Verse Solutions did. If you want to learn more about it, if you want to check out this whole topic area, because it's really an interesting one, you'll want to tune into our webinar. We're doing a webinar next week on the 20th, on Tuesday, called The Market View on Quality Management, What Your Peers Are Doing or Not Doing. And that's coming up this Tuesday, September 20th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Dirk will be hosting that. Tim Lozier, the author of that piece from Verse Solutions, will be presenting.
And Tim's always does really good presentations. Really interesting guy.
We've done a few with them. So keep an eye on your email. You'll be getting some reminders on that. And check out that webinar. It's going to be a good one. I'm very certain.
Cool.
Okay. Well, as I mentioned, yes, we're here at MAR. Yes, yay. MAR Federal. And we're going to turn now. Wait, I got that right there. We're going to turn out to today's Tech Corner. And it's a double play from MAR, and it's really good. Dirk's going to move downstairs now to the lower portion of the booth and connect with Dave McKenzie, MAR Director of Sales for Metrology Systems. Together, they're going to demo the, I believe it was the MMQ400 and MAR Shaft Scope 250. So David and Dirk, take it away.
Okay, so I'm going downstairs now at the MAR booth, and we're going to go over and we're going to talk to Dave McKenzie, and we're going to look at the MMQ 150, which is a what?
That's right, Dirk. This is a roundness gauge, a very simple roundness gauge, and actually for MAR Federal, this is our entry-level cylindricity measurement system. So thanks for coming by to take a look at it today.
Well, sure. So why don't you kind of take us through and point out the highlights? I noticed it does have looks like a pretty straightforward user interface.
Right, it's very simple to use. You can go to the selection screen and then just pick the measurement routine that you need based on the geometric dimensioning and tolerancing symbols you have on your drawing. So for instance, if I have a drawing with a roundness call out, I touch the roundness icon. Then roundness is always on ID or OD, so you only have those choices available to you. So we've done what we can to make the user interface really simple. You choose ID, and then touch the Start button, and the system will take the measurement and give you the result of roundness. So very simple.
I can see now that as it's measuring the roundness on the screen, we're showing, and it looks like this part's got some lobes to it.
Definitely got a tri-lobe shape to it, which comes from either machining it in a 3-jaw chuck, or maybe someone over-tightened the chuck when we put it on the system. So
it's always embarrassing when you do that.
That's right. Well, we have custom fixturing that we use to prevent that kind of thing. So that's another point about the value we add on these types of systems, that we do custom fixturing to prevent that type of thing. But in this case, you can see about 50 microns of out of roundness in a tri-lobe shape. Sometimes this comes about as a result of different kinds of grinding processes, or as you say, in the roughing stage where you're holding it in a 3-jaw chuck on a lathe, you put that shape into the part.
Okay.
Very good. Oh, well, you can check these other features. As we mentioned, it's an entry-level cylindricity gauge, so the z-axis is a measuring datum. Okay, so it's straight, and we know that it's aligned to the c-axis of rotation. The principles of form testing haven't changed in many years. You have a very precise bearing. This would be less than 50 nanometers of error in rotation. You have a very straight z-axis, and then you just use these motorized x-axis to position the gauge head where you need it on the part to take these different measurements. So for instance, we can center and tilt. These are the simple routines. We can create a datum axis, so if we need to do a run out, for instance, and we need an axis for that, we can construct an axis for it. And we can also construct a datum plane. And then the other really common call-outs are cylindricity, which is looking for the error of shape in a cylindrical form, and the various runouts, including total runout, which is the requirement for the overall shape plus the axis, the deviation from the axis.
Okay, so this was the MMQ 150, and I believe we're going to go over and look at a different MAR product right now.
We'll go over and take a look at the MAR Shaft Plus 250.
Okay, great. Let's walk over there.
Very good. Here we'll Yeah, move.
Okay, and so now we're over here at this with the Marshaft Scope 250 is what it says there on the screen.
Marshaft Scope Plus 250, right across the front. And sometimes I get 250 and the plus are reversed. So my friend Pat Nugent would tell me Marshaft Scope 250 Plus. Very good.
So what is this?
And this is an automatic optical shaft measurement system. So what you do is you take a part, and it's very convenient if it has centers. We also can provide a chuck or other devices to hold parts in place. In this case, this little spool has centers in it, so that works out very nicely. So we write a measurement program for it. We touch the start button to measure it, and it will take off and measure the part.
Okay, and I see a laser that's going down and going.
Absolutely right. This is a pulsed light and a matrix type camera that we're doing the measurements with. So this is like an advanced type of profile projection system that uses a matrix camera.
And then on the screen over here, what are we seeing?
Well, you're seeing the overview and then the results of the measurement. So if we try it again, you can see loading the measurement routine from a function button, which makes it very easy for the operator to use. And we'll go ahead and take the measurements, and you do about 57 measurements on this shaft, lengths and diameters, checking radii and so forth, all together, and you get the results in about 12 seconds.
And how difficult is this to program?
It's really quite simple, and I'll show you just a little bit about the programming in a second. When you start off by making a profile scan, so we'll do that now. The camera moves in the z-axis, and we create an automatic image. Then you can look at the command window, and what I've done is just chosen a few favorites. These are our macros, okay? So you can see a diameter macro, a length or distance macro, and a runout macro, and a macro for creating an axis. So for instance, if you want to measure diameter, you can just touch the diameter icon. We'll do a static measurement. And then you can just come up and touch anywhere on the part. We'll automatically pop up a window and make suggestions about the nominal size based on the automatic scan that we took. And then it will populate default tolerances, which we can edit later. So
you would put like a golden part in here and kind of select it from that, right?
Well, you can, yes. If you had a part that was exactly in tolerance, you could do that as well. You could put a part in that was a master part and then measure your deviations from there. Or you can go ahead and actually go back to your blueprint and input your nominal tolerances. Now, if I want to measure this diameter, I can just touch the measure button, and the system will run, and we'll get a result. So you can see up here then the result of the measurement using the deviation from the nominal size that was automatically input from the scan of the part. If I want to edit that, then I can just do that right from the screen. I can input my blueprint tolerances and make changes however I like to get the program the way I want it. And then I can just save the program, and I'll be able to run it. And we have the function buttons across the bottom where we can put 32 different programs that you can reach by function buttons, so it's very easy to use.
Okay, so again, this was the Scope 250 Plus.
Exactly right. Optical shaft measurement system.
Okay, Dave McKenzie, thanks a lot.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Back to you, Mike.
Well, thank you again, David McKenzie, for that great overview of Mars MMQ150, actually, for measurement, and Marshaft Scope 250 Plus for shaft measuring from the ground level of Mars' expansive booth here at IMTS in Chicago. And as my partner Dirk again joins me from again at the top level.
Sorry about that.
Let me just say, well done, Tech Corner, Dirk. As always, you run up and down on these things all over. And in fact, excellent work on all equipment, and a provider of calibration and contact measurement services. For more information, if you're here at IMTS, stop by the MAR booth at booth E5614 or visit online at www.mar.com.
They also make some nice mugs.
They do. These are great mugs. We've tapped them like now 4 times. And they've held up great. Thanks,
All right.
Mar.
Okay, well, the end of today's show. This is the last show coming to you live from IMTS 2016
That's right.
in beautiful downtown Chicago McCormick Center, right on the
Lake Michigan.
Lake Michigan.
It's a big lake.
See, I was going to say lake, and then I went, I don't know what lake it is.
It's Lake Michigan, yes, even though we're in Illinois.
But yeah,
I
I think they would call this half Lake Illinois. Okay. Don't forget to miss the upcoming webinar coming next week with diverse solutions. The market view on quality management, what your peers are doing or not doing. And that's this upcoming Tuesday,
Yes.
next week, September 20th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. So you want to be able to show up and watch that.
Yeah,
It'll be a good webinar.
yeah, keep an eye on your email, and we should say don't miss it.
Don't
Yes,
miss it.
Don't miss it.
Yes.
Be sure to not miss that webinar because it's a great one. Yeah, coming up again on the 20th, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m.
Don't
Pacific.
miss it.
Don't miss it. Check out your email. You'll be getting a reminder about that soon. Well, that's our show. That's all of our shows. Thank you all for joining us from IMTS. Another great year at IMTS, and we'll see you back here next Friday. Not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, the 23rd, for another episode of Quality Digest
From
Live.
the Quality Digest headquarters in beautiful
Chico, California. Chico. All right, we'll see you then. Thanks.
So-
Bye.